For more than a century, humanity has been adding carbon to the atmosphere until the buildup of greenhouse gases has become an existential crisis and may in the future be the cause of untold suffering and death. We already see drought, wildfire, extreme storms, and the rise of the oceans, and we even have trees starting to grow in the Arctic tundra, where trees have never grown before. Humanity needs to fight back. We need to lower the carbon dioxide levels to what they were in the 70s or 80s. The good news is that the governments, organizations, and people are developing new energy sources that will not increase carbon levels in the atmosphere. But the plans and methods we have now are glaringly inadequate for removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. We are left with an extremely expensive process of CO2 capture with underground storage or the shams that are being offered as carbon sequestration by not plowing farm fields. Planting trees is great, but what do you do with a tree after it's grown? Its carbon eventually goes back into the atmosphere. Humanity needs a way to reduce the atmospheric carbon that is both inexpensive and removes it from the carbon cycle for thousands of years. The climate change machine does that. Possibly the most important factor of climate machine or a CCM is that it is made for regular people, farmers, and small business to own and operate. Plus, the profitability of a CCM should allow huge numbers of people to fight global warming and make good money. At the beginning, CCMs will be paid for by the money generated by their carbon-negative fuel production that replaces fossil fuels. But as electric cars and other clean energies become dominant, the biochar and liquid fuels produced by CCM can also be easily sequestered. At that time, with the existing CCM infrastructure paid for by replacing fossil fuels, the world will have the tools to lower and control the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. The way a CCM works is that concentrated solar energy is absorbed by biomass in a reactor that is oxygen-free. There is no burning in the pyrolysis process. Large organic compounds are broken down in the heat, and the reaction of steam and carbon creates hydrogen and carbon monoxide and breaks the biomass down to where over 80% of it is converted to liquid, with 32% of the biomass turned into gasoline and diesel at around 500 degrees Celsius or 932 degrees Fahrenheit. The CM will be able to produce a lot of different materials, including a lot of hydrogen. The biomass input for the CCM should be materials that are considered worthless and would need to be disposed of. The main requirement is that the input material contains carbon. That includes organic material, plant residue, plastics, tires, and paper. This would include almost anything that has been alive in the past. We estimate that the CCM, based upon our prototype design, will produce about 1,400 gallons of diesel and gasoline in a 10-hour day, and possibly, with further development, reach 3,000 gallons a day. A very important part of the climate change machine concept is after the prototype has been demonstrated and the economic returns documented, we believe that capable people around the world will want to enjoy the profits generated from CCMs, and this will be the fundamental reason for the construction of CCMs in the numbers necessary to start slowing and reversing global warming. We are asking for donations to build a prototype. We plan not to allow investment into the CCM development so that we will not need to be distracted by the need for short-term profits. I hope you understand that we think this is a really big deal and could help save the Earth from possible terrible events. Please donate at Climate Change Machine on GoFundMe.com.